Welcome back to The Suitor. I'm Anthony, your host, and today we are recapping what happened last week in the world of Pride and Prejudice. After receiving Darcy's letter, Elizabeth's perspective began to change. She visited Darcy's grand estate, Pemberley, where unexpected encounters revealed a new, more likable side to Darcy. Elizabeth was surprised by Darcy's warm and welcoming behavior. She met his sweet and shy sister Georgiana, which softened her view of Darcy, revealing his caring and protective nature. She also observed how Darcy interacted with his servants, showing a respectful and considerate side that challenged her earlier prejudices. But then, drama struck. Elizabeth received shocking news that her sister Lydia had eloped with the deceitful Mr. Wickham. This scandal threatened to ruin the Bennet family's social standing. You see, in the prim and proper society of the time, an unwed daughter running off with a man was the ultimate disgrace. It really highlighted the strict rules of social class and manners, and just how harshly society judged those who broke them. But in a surprising turn, Darcy's response was actually thoughtful and kind. He quietly intervened, tracking down Lydia and Wickham. He forked over a lot of his own money to ensure the marriage and salvage the Bennet family's honor. Darcy's actions, driven by his love for Elizabeth, revealed his deep sense of responsibility and genuine care, showcasing a significant transformation in his character. Before, he only seemed to care about social manners, like when he snubbed Elizabeth at the Meryton ball due to her family's lower social status. But now, by intervening in Lydia's scandal, Darcy's actions show he cares about personal integrity and relationships. With so many twists and revelations, what's next for Elizabeth and Darcy? And what's the point of all this satirical drama? Stay tuned for more right after this. Welcome back to The Suitor. As we are approaching the end of the season and the big reveal about which suitor Elizabeth will choose, I'm thinking about the lessons we've learned along the way. The author, Jane Austen, uses various story elements and literary devices to develop the themes of Pride and Prejudice. And one of these key themes involves social class and manners. We'll explore how this theme has developed so far and craft a thematic statement that captures Austen's message. We already know the topic of this theme is social class and manners, but what is Austen really saying about social class and manners? Are they vital to a functioning community? Are they destructive? To help us figure this out, let's start by examining the main storyline of Darcy and Elizabeth. We'll analyze the story elements of plot, characters, setting, and conflict to see how they work together to develop the theme. First, let's set the context for the plot. Throughout the novel, the storyline has included events that show how social class and manners influence the characters' interactions and decisions. So, which major events of the text are connected to the theme of social class and manners? Take a moment to think it over. There's a lot to choose from in this novel. Major events like Darcy's initial proposal and Elizabeth's rejection, Darcy's intervention in the Lydia and Wickham scandal, and Elizabeth's visit to Pemberley all help to develop the theme. Notice that the plot develops around the challenges posed by social class and manners, as well as the shifting attitudes of the characters as they navigate societal constraints. Next, let's take a closer look at how characters emphasize this theme. Specifically, our suitor, Mr. Darcy. How does his development, traits, or relationships connects to the theme of social class and manners? Take a moment to think it over. Darcy's newfound humility and kindness, especially toward Elizabeth, indicate his evolving perspective. He moves from pride and prejudice to a more open and respectful demeanor. This shift highlights how personal growth and integrity can challenge and ultimately transcend societal expectations. But how do you think the setting of Pemberley impacts the theme? Well, Pemberley is Darcy's huge, grand estate. This setting is important because it represents his wealth and social status. However, when Elizabeth is able to observe Darcy's behavior there, it reveals a more gracious and kind side to him. Through this setting, we get to see Darcy's true character, highlighting how societal expectations about class and manners can be balanced by personal virtue. Now, what are the key conflicts concerning Mr. Darcy? Well, Lydia and Wickham's elopement causes a huge conflict because their actions go against societal expectations. But how does Darcy respond? And how might that response connect to the theme? Take a moment to think it over. Darcy's willingness to resolve the conflict with Lydia and Wickham at great personal cost shows his commitment to doing what's right, even if it goes against societal expectations. Notice that these conflicts challenge Darcy to grow beyond societal constraints, reinforcing the theme that personal integrity can overcome rigid expectations about social class and manners. Okay, now that we've made some observations about these story elements, let's synthesize our thinking into a thematic statement that captures the theme in one concise sentence. We know this novel deals with a theme about social class and manners, but what about them? Does Austen show us that these rules are positive or negative? Are they helpful or problematic? Let's explore. Based on the connections we've uncovered between these story elements and the theme, what pattern do you notice? Take a moment to think it over. Do you notice that each of these story elements connects to the idea that social class and manners do cause challenges, but they can totally be overcome through personal growth, integrity, and virtues? People like Mr. Darcy can actually have more meaningful relationships if they are willing to go against the norms. So, how can we put this into a concise thematic statement? Try writing a sentence using this stem. The novel demonstrates that social class and manners often dictate choices about personal relationships, but thinking about the pattern you noticed in these theme connections, how would you complete this sentence? Pause the video while you think. Here's what I came up with. The novel demonstrates that social class and manners often dictate choices about personal relationships, but individuals who dare to challenge these constraints can develop deeper integrity and pave the way for genuine connections. These are the words I chose to capture this idea. I bet you chose different words, and that's okay. Basically, Austen is saying that social rules seem to control the characters completely. But if they're willing to make their own choices instead, they can experience deeper, more genuine relationships. All the story elements are working together to help send that message to the readers. But wait, the story's not quite over yet. As we approach the thrilling conclusion of this classic tale, keep adjusting your thinking about this theme. How will the final twists in the plot, the characters' ultimate choices, and other story elements impact our understanding of social class and manners? Stay tuned, because the final reveal is just around the corner. What other themes will emerge? Will Elizabeth find true happiness and love beyond societal expectations? Here at The Suitor, we'll stay on top of all the action while you go explore all of the pride, prejudice, and scandal you can handle. Hey!